Hi everyone, it's Quentin here. Today I sent a tweet and a post on Facebook asking you guys to ask me questions. So here is another episode of Questions with Quentin. And first I'm going to go to Twitter. And a lady by the name of Candice Lynn, who is Scotch Sweetie on Twitter, has asked me a bunch of questions. So let's go to the first question. Question: would I consider running for a political position to represent those in the disabled community? Yes, I have thought about it. Yes, I am thinking about it. I have spoken a little bit to a few of the parties. Obviously not the Liberal Party. But as yet, I have not made up my mind whether I will or whether I won't. Currently, I'm happy just being on the sidelines. Yes. Candice Lynn then writes, what's my favourite book turned into a movie? Well, I gotta tell you, Candice, that my favourite book turned into a movie is The Bourne Identity and the books and movies that came off from that. I really like the Robert Ludlum series. I don't like the Bourne Legacy movie because it doesn't deal with Jason Bourne whatsoever and doesn't have Matt Damon and wasn't directed by Paul Greengrass or Doug Liman, so I don't actually recognise that as a proper movie, but I do love the books, and I think what they should do is they should throw a heap of money to Matt Damon and Paul Greengrass to go make more. Yeah. Now, to a question from Chrissy, who is Chris T. Foster 39. How is that adorable Patchy? And if most of you don't know, Patchy is my 3.5-year-old Chihuahua dog, who is my third daughter and one of the loves of my life. And Patchy at the moment is a bit sulky and a bit sooky because she stayed awake all night barking at things that were supposedly outside. And now she's been awake all night and tired all day and just wants to sook. But I want to keep her awake a little bit so that she doesn't stay asleep all day and awake all night. So she's not very happy with me at the moment and keeps grizzling. I have another question from Lorraine, who is Elusive2 on Twitter. Topic: is mental illness a threat to the DSP balance in government reports on welfare? Now, by DSP, for those of you who don't know, she's talking about the disability support pension. Well, Lorraine, I don't think there is enough awareness about mental health, and I don't think that there is enough about mental health training. I myself have had mental health training because I mentored artists that had mental illness, and what was the biggest thing that I realised was that a lot of these people suffer in silence, and they feel that nobody understands them, and nobody can talk to them, and no one can relate to them, so they put everything inside. But if we educated ourselves and learnt how to treat these people with compassion and dignity, then we may see that um, their mental illness could be treated and they could get into the workforce, or treated and be able to be told that they are legitimately able to stay on the pension. Disabled people legitimately want to work and be part of society. I truly believe that in my heart. But it's all coming down to education and education for employment, and not just getting the person with a disability educated, but getting the employer educated as well. I think that's I think that's very important. Um, Candace um, has another question, I think. Uh, Let me see. Ah, one more before I go to sleep. Do I eat Marmite or Vegemite? Uh, well, yes, I do eat Vegemite because Vegemite is Aussie and wonderful, even though it is made by Kraft, which is a foreign-owned country. Um, do I eat Vegemite? Yes, I do. I eat it with warm butter on toast. Very, very yummy. Yum, yum, yum. Uh, Trick, if you are without oyster sauce when you're making a stir fry, put a teaspoon of Vegemite in it, and it's great. Now, let's flick on over to Facebook. I have a few questions here. Let's see. This one comes from Debbie Phillips. As a fellow wheelchair user, do you find it frustrating, as I do, that people don't look where they are going and slam straight into you? Or when they are walking along in front of you and just stop for no apparent reason and you slam straight into them because you can't stop? Do I find it frustrating? Well, I used to when I was younger, um, but now I just keep going. I just keep on going. The good thing is that you're in a wheelchair, which means you're surrounded by metal. So hopefully you're not the one that's going to get hurt. They are. All I'm saying is don't worry about what they think. Worry about yourself. Okay? If they're in your way, yell at them to move. If you're in their way, get the hell out of their way. The thing is, don't let it frustrate you so much. Because what I do is I just take a clear path and I just keep on going, baby. That's what I do. Um, Kate Dixon. I recently watched a debate about whether social media stops people socialising. What are your thoughts? In some respects, that is true, Kate. I do think that uh, people can stop socialising if they use social media too much. One can be stuck in a wall of uh, their computer and their tablet and their smartphone and not stop to smell the roses. But on the other hand, for a lot of people, it's a great way to socialise because it means they have an outlet to the world that they may not have had. Um, I know of a young journalist named Marlena, and Marlena uh, has cerebral palsy, and she can't talk verbally. But what she can do is she can get on this computer and she can write and she can interact and she can socialize through this. And because of this, she's been able to do some great interviews with celebrities that I could have only dreamed of. And she did it because she got online. Now, I myself, I'm hooked up to the network. I'm on every sort of network that you can find. And does it stop me from physically socializing? Yeah, sometimes. But it's all about moderation. Yeah. Now, next question. Uh, from Corey McMurtry. Um, my friend drinks way too often and drinks to get drunk. How do I change the culture around what he's doing? Well, this is something that I know personally a lot about because I used to drink to get drunk and I was a binge drinker and I am a recovered drug addict and I know a lot about it. What I really did was I got to a point where I just realized that I wasn't happy when I drank. I thought I was having fun, but when you pass out in the middle of the street, and your friends have to push you home, it's not cool. And so I asked for the help of my friends and those around me to remind me about that behaviour and what it did to me and how it affected me, and encouraged me to stay on the soft drinks. So all I can suggest is that encourage your friend to maybe not have that drink, but really they have to make the choice on their own. You can't do it for them. And that's really what happened to me. I had to make my choice and say I wanted to quit drugs and I wanted to stop drinking. And once you make that choice and you really stick to that choice, it's hard, but it's not unbeatable. So yes. Next question is from Trisha Perry. I'm a movie and TV show buff and mostly love a good horror thriller movie. What movies, TV shows do you like and what is your fave? I like a bit of everything except horror movies. I'm sorry, I can't stand horror movies. I don't understand why anyone would want to go into a movie theatre and have the crap scared out of them. I just don't understand. I don't get it, never have, never will. The movies I like are science fiction, action, comedies, dramas. My favourite TV shows at the moment are 24. It's back. I love it. Game of Thrones. The Blacklist. Arrow. Love a good superhero show. Movies. I love all sorts of superhero movies. I love indie comedies. Indie comedies, I love them. The comedies by Kevin Smith, his early works. Yeah. Yep. Another question from Kimberly Rice Newberry. Hello, Kimberly. You write to me a lot. I hope you're well, darling. What do I think about movie stars smoking? We have so many cancer charities raising money to prevent and educate.
You've got mail.
The effects of people. Thank you for telling me I've got mail. Now, what do I think about this? I think it's like all things, Kimberly. Do I think there should be as much of it as there is? No, I don't. I don't think. But, you know, there's always going to be sex in movies. There's always going to be violence in movies. There's always going to be drug taking in movies. There's always going to be smoking in movies. Do I think that some of it is condonable? A little bit in moderation. But you're right. I think as filmmakers we could try harder and um, show that you don't need to do that sort of stuff. But in the end, filmmakers are storytellers. They're not educators. Um, they're not there to preach a message. They're just there to tell a story. And if the story involves smoking and drug taking and violence and sex, then it's necessary. And if it doesn't, then I don't see a reason to do it. I hope that answers your question. Then I've got another final question from Bumbles to George. Bumbles to George. What an interesting name. Bumbles writes, do you understand how amazing you are? Well, that's lovely of you to ask. I don't realise it because I don't think I'm that amazing. I'm just a person that gets on the camera and tries to entertain people and speaks my mind. Nothing more, nothing less. And if people gravitate towards it, that's great. If you like it, that's great. If you don't like it, so be it. But I don't think I'm that amazing. But thank you for asking. Well, thank you for your questions. That wraps it up. I hope I've answered all of them. Stay cool, everyone. Keep an eye out for my videos. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.